Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, thank you for joining us. My name is Lawrence, and what I do here is that I share and comment on events that are taking place both within and also outside of the SDA Church. So I will encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you want to know what is taking place around us, because it is very important, friends. It is very important to be updated on things that are taking place around us. Now, Pope Leo XIV was just interviewed about his identity as American by CBN News. And what did the Pope say?
You are the first American Pope. It's something you don't speak about often. I'm curious, how important is being American to you, and what do you love about America?
Well, first of all, just to clarify, I think of myself more as the Pope who happens to be American. Not to belittle what it means to be American. I was born in the United States. My family is still in the United States. I have great love for America. But I understand my mission as having a very important dimension, which is precisely being pastor of a universal church and having a voice and an opportunity to speak to people throughout the world. So I would put things in that order, and yet at the same time I will acknowledge that for myself as well as for the people of the United States, judging by the response that we've seen since May 8th of last year, that there is great significance in being the first American Pope.
What do you love about America?
So many things. In a sense, speaking about principles, what America stands for, the sense of freedom, the sense of opportunity, the sense of having invited for generations people from around the world to be part of America. I come from a family that my grandparents were immigrants. On my mother's side, we have people who were both slaves and slave owners. There's a history of if you will, growing up and the kind of experience that helps me to recognize myself one of the greatest wealths of the United States. And I continue to hold the principles that have been a part of being American for so many years that will continue.
Before we go, will
Okay.
Americans see you soon in America?
They will see me there.
So that was Pope Leo XIV. And what do Adventists also have to say about the statement of the Pope that his mission and everything comes first before his nationality? Let's get deep into this. Let's listen.
As Seventh-day Adventists, we do not study world events simply out of curiosity. We compare everything with Scripture. The Bible tells us that we should understand the signs of the times while remaining faithful to Christ. During the interview, Pope Leo XIV described himself as the Pope who happens to be American. He emphasized that although he is the first Pope from the United States, his primary responsibility is to serve as the shepherd of the worldwide Catholic Church. Rather than focusing on his nationality, he stressed his global mission and responsibility. His statement may sound simple, but it reminds us of something very important. The papacy has never been merely a national institution. Throughout history, it has exercised worldwide religious influence. Revelation chapter 13 describes a power that receives global attention and has influence over the nations of the earth. Seventh-day Adventists have historically understood these prophecies to refer to the end-time papal system. Pope Leo XIV also praised America for its values of freedom, opportunity, and its history of welcoming immigrants. These are principles that many people appreciate. Freedom of religion has been one of the greatest blessings in the history of the United States. It allowed many religious groups, including Seventh-day Adventists, to worship according to conscience. However, Bible prophecy presents an important warning. Revelation 13 predicts that a nation represented by a lamb-like beast, understood by Seventh-day Adventists to symbolize the United States, will eventually speak like a dragon. In other words, a nation founded upon principles of civil and religious liberty will one day exercise authority in a way that compromises those very freedoms, especially in matters of worship. This is why Adventists continue to emphasize religious liberty. Our concern is not with individuals or political leaders, but with prophetic developments that Scripture predicts will occur before Christ returns. The Bible calls every believer to follow truth wherever it leads. Revelation 18 records God's appeal, "Come out of her, my people." Finally, Pope Leo XIV mentioned that he hopes to visit the United States. Such a visit would undoubtedly receive enormous international attention. Whenever a pope visits a major nation, political leaders, religious leaders, and the media closely follow the event. As Seventh-day Adventists, we should not react with fear or speculation. Instead, we should watch world events prayerfully while keeping our eyes fixed upon Jesus Christ. Our mission is to preach the everlasting gospel, proclaim the three angels' messages, and prepare people for the soon return of Christ. The greatest issue in the last days will not simply be who occupies the Vatican or who leads powerful nations. The central issue will be worship. Revelation presents two groups of people. One follows the traditions and commandments of men. The other is described as those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Every news headline should remind us that Bible prophecy is moving steadily toward its final fulfillment. Rather than becoming distracted by personalities, we should strengthen our relationship with Christ, study His Word daily, remain faithful to all of His commandments, and share His message of hope with a world that desperately needs it. The question for each of us is not whether prophecy is unfolding. The question is whether we are spiritually prepared for the events that lie ahead. What do you think the significance of the first American Pope could be in light of Bible prophecy? Share your thoughts in the comment.
So thank you for watching Brother Lawrence channel. There are some more stories coming up, so don't go anywhere. Stay right here. See you soon. God bless.